The 2018 Volkswagen Atlas is the best 7-passenger crossover for you if you concede it doesn't have to have sporty road manners just because it's German. Rather, VW's first crossover with 3 rows of seats demonstrates another Teutonic discipline: highly organized design. There's hardly a more efficiently packaged vehicle of its type on the road. This thing is huge inside. But is spaciousness enough these days? What about exciting styling? What about fuel economy? What about dependability? I'm Chuck Giametta. Join me for a car preview video review of the 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. This isn't the first VW to come standard with 3 seating rows. It's not even the first legitimate 7-passenger VW available with all-wheel drive. But it is the first to go head-to-head with mid-size mainstays like the Ford Explorer, Honda Pilot, and Toyota Highlander. It's also by far the automaker's largest crossover, 10 inches longer than the 5-passenger Touareg and 13 longer than the compact Tiguan, which does offer an optional 3rd row as a kid-sized afterthought. Speaking of Touareg and Tiguan, Atlas also demonstrates not every Volkswagen crossover needs a goofy name. It's not without its quirks, though. How about 3 speedometers? And instead of a simple knob to dim the dashboard lights, you must call up this menu, which isn't available if the vehicle's in motion. Nothing odd about its ability to carry people and stuff, though. It's among the class leaders for passenger space, and it tops the segment for cargo volume, even though its exterior dimensions are not the biggest. Driver and front passenger enjoy generous room on big bucket seats. The 2nd row is a revelation, with stretch-out comfort on an adjustable bench. Captain's chairs, a $625 option, reduce capacity to 6. The 3rd row is an Atlas selling point. No competitors is more commodious. You'd need a full-size SUV or a minivan to do better. As for interior decor, it favors function over fancy. Soft touch surfaces are at a minimum. You must spring for the top-of-the-line SEL Premium model to replace VW's otherwise convincing imitation leather with real leather upholstery. Even then, accents like this Formica-looking slab shame the Atlas against the real wood available in rivals. Nothing embarrassing about storage space, it's everywhere. The 3 top trim levels have a hands-free power liftgate, and here too you'd need a full-sizer or a minivan to match the VW's cargo volume. Atlas, however, lacks the convenience of power-folding 3rd row seats available on many competitors. All this is contained within a blocky body that has an extraneous line or two, but takes no real styling risks. It's part of a VW move to more mainstream crossovers that began with the redesigned 2018 Tiguan. Here on the right, you can see the resemblance. Visual distinctions between the Atlas trim levels mainly involve the wheels. 18-inch alloys are standard on all except the SEL Premium, which comes with 20-inch alloys. You can get them in black for $1,000 on an SEL or for $235 on an SEL Premium. 20-inchers, along with a special grille and other dress-up touches, are part of the R-Line option, a $1,960 package for the SEL and the SE with Tech models. Those wheel and tire sizes have some effect on ride and handling, but performance won't be your prime motivation for buying an Atlas. The base engine is a turbocharged 4-cylinder with more power here than in other VWs, but still likely to be challenged in a vehicle this size, and it comes only with front-wheel drive. Standard on the SEL Premium and a $1,400 upgrade for the other models is the automaker's narrow-angle V6. Horsepower and torque are middling for the class, and acceleration is no more than adequate. Look to the lighter and notably quicker Honda Pilot to see how well a V6 with nearly identical output can perform. Atlas's sole transmission is an 8-speed automatic. It's a little slow to downshift when you demand more power. Using the sport mode and toggling it to shift manually help a little. This isn't an off-roader, but $1,800 is well spent for the automaker's 4-motion all-wheel drive system. Snow and off-road calibrations are included in the drive mode menu. You'll pay for Atlas's size and rock-solid construction in fuel economy that's near the bottom of the competitive segment.
At least that solid platform pays dividends in a quiet passenger compartment and good ride quality, especially with the 18-inch wheels and tires. The 20s rob the suspension of some ability to soak up the impact of sharp bumps and tar strips. We're not convinced it's an equitable trade-off.
The 20s do sharpen response going into a turn and maintaining grip through the corner, but no Atlas can match the handling of Mazda's CX-9, for example. If not exactly ponderous, this VW is just loose enough on the highway and leans just enough in turns that we're again inclined to raise that comparison with a full-size SUV or a minivan.
So it doesn't have sporty German handling. At least it doesn't have stiff German pricing.
Prices are generally in line with those of comparably equipped rivals, although at nearly $50,000, the SEL Premium joins a few competitive flagships in the stratosphere of this class. Most buyers will begin at the SE level, where standard features include a power driver's seat, heated front seats and mirrors, rear sunshades, keyless entry with push-button start, satellite radio, and an 8-inch infotainment touchscreen. Every Atlas has LED headlamps and LED daytime running lights. A panoramic moonroof starts at the SEL level. Exclusive to the SEL Premium are a heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, ventilated front buckets, and embedded navigation, plus Volkswagen's configurable digital cockpit instrument display. On the safety front, all but the entry-level S come with blind spot and rear cross-traffic detection. Standard beginning with the SE technology model are many of today's most advanced driver assists, including adaptive cruise control, autonomous emergency braking, and lane-maintaining automatic steering. The last we found intrusive enough to switch off and steer for ourselves. VW builds the Atlas in Tennessee and is working to correct the brand's stigma of poor reliability. Part of the plan is its newly introduced 6-year, 72,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, essentially double that of most competitors.
Volkswagen calls that generous coverage the People First warranty, a reference to its origin as the self-described people's car. By unapologetically putting passengers first, VW perhaps hopes you'll think of its new Atlas as the people's crossover. For more on this and other cars, trucks, and SUVs, go to CarPreview.com, and please subscribe to our Car Preview YouTube channel.